This is a rather breezy Eakring. I'm at the bottom of Lown Wood, which you can just see coming down the hillside there, and more in the foreground on the left hand side of the screen is what I've always called the Lown Wood Annex. And I'm actually sat on the edge of last year's Phacelia field, which is going to be this year's Phacelia field too. But there's a reason why I'm here, because there is a moth that I would like to get on the Eakring moth list, and that's the Emperor Moth. I'm convinced that somewhere in the Eakring and Kersal area, my former local patch, the Emperor Moth is alive and well. It's spread over the last 20 years or so in Nottinghamshire. It was recorded after an absence of many years in the Trent Valley, in the lower part of the Trent Valley, and it's gone up the Trent Valley northeastwards right up past Newark, and then a number of years ago it started to appear in the Sherwood Forest area, or areas just south of what most people would deem the Sherwood Forest area, and it's now on Budby South Forest too, so it does seem to have colonised the Sherwood Forest heathlands. Of course, it's going to be found elsewhere too, and I would dearly love to add Emperor Moth to the Eakring list, and I've got two sites, this being one of them, the Lownwood area, and then once I've tried here, I'm going to go down to Eakring Meadows and give it a go there. I have a cunning plan to use a lure. This is the Emperor Moth lure, which I'm going to deploy very soon. If this lure doesn't work, I've brought a lady with me. This lady, this Emperor Moth female, emerged yesterday, much to my surprise, and she already appears to be calling, so between the two, an actual female Emperor Moth and a replica of a female Emperor Moth scent, you could say, we'll give it a go and see whether we can attract the beautiful male to either this or to the actual real thing. I don't care which, it would just be nice to get Emperor Moth on the Eakring list. So both methods are now deployed and in action. I'd be overjoyed to get Emperor Moth. Be nice to get it here, but if one doesn't turn up here, then we go a few miles down the road and we try at Eakring Meadows. But I'll only be deploying both of these for about 20 minutes, half an hour or so. Hopefully we may be successful. Well, neither method has been successful so far. It's about a quarter of an hour gone. I will give it another 5 or 10 minutes or so. So it is breezy, intermittent sunshine through cumulus clouds. So we'll give it a little bit longer, just see whether a male turns up. No joy. She still remains unmated, and the pheromone lure, the artificial pheromone lure in the bung, has also failed to attract any sign of a male emperor moth. So what we're going to do is go down a couple of miles east of here, down to Eakring Meadows, see whether emperor moth is down in the penny pasture common area. I'm sure it's here somewhere. And see if we can get this lady paired up. Well, I'm now down on penny pasture common, which is a couple of miles east of where I've just been at Lound Wood. Will we get any more success in trying to attract a male to this beautiful female emperor moth? We shall see. It's a case of finding somewhere that's sheltered, and I think along this hedge may well just be the right spot. This is a lovely warm spot here. I'm tucked up against a stand of blackthorn and bramble into. It's a perfect combination for emperor moths, but not forced to be here. I usually like to sit at this level, this sort of 2 or 3 feet off the ground level. That's the sort of level that male emperor moths fly at. And so if you're down at that level, you can see them coming in. They can be surprisingly quick and not always easy to detect. Sometimes they can be here before you know it. But this is a good spot to sit because I'm hoping that the breeze is going that way. And so if it is going that way for any length, then it means that the scent of the female in the cage here is travelling the length of Eakring Meadows, and it's a decent length too. Has it got emperor moth anywhere near? Well, we've had no success in attracting a mate here. I will try somewhere else on the way home, see if we can get this female mated. But before I end the video, I wanted just to show you how beautiful this moth is. She's still absolutely immaculate because she hasn't flapped a wing yet. She won't do until she's mated, and then we'll start to lay her eggs. But the emperor moth, it really is the most spectacular moth that we have in the UK, and the only Saturniidae moth. Saturniidae moths are the silk moths. It really is a stunning species, an absolute stunner. Well, after yesterday's failure, I'm now down at Hoverium, and I think this female is going to be lucky because there's a male emperor moth flying in. The female is on the right hand side of the cage, and here is the male. He will soon latch onto that female. He's on top of the female, but they're not in cop yet. Very close to it now. And there we see the male just trying to latch on to the female here. And it looks as though he has. It's a very, very fresh male. More beautiful than the female, if truth be told. But both fabulous moths, and I'm pleased to say that mission has been accomplished in getting a male for this female empress. Nice to play Cupid once in a while.